SpectrumTv, broadening your horizon. SpectrumTv, broadening your horizon.
Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 9. My name is Xavier Robert, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Ibiakuran. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Buhari departs Abuja for Expo 2020 in UAE. President Buhari advocates relations among African nations to avoid unhealthy competition. France to lift ban on Southern Africa flights on Saturday. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First in the news tonight, President Muhammad Buhari has headed out of the capital city of Abuja to Dubai in the United Arab Emirates to participate in the Expo 2020 Dubai. According to a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the theme for Expo 2020 Dubai is Connecting Minds, Creating the Future. Adesina explained that the event would create the environment for Nigeria to join more than 190 countries to forge true and meaningful partnerships towards a better future. He said the Expo would provide another opportunity for the Nigerian delegation to highlight strides in the economy in the last 6 years towards making the country an important destination for foreign direct investment. Still on diplomatic engagements, President Muhammad Buhari is seeking stronger emphasis on people-to-people relations between South Africa and Nigeria to the benefit of both countries and Africa. President Buhari stated this when he received his South African counterpart, President Cyril Ramaphosa, at the State House Abuja. The Nigerian leader reiterated Nigeria's commitment to improving a relationship with South Africa, which would translate into gains for the continent, particularly in education, science, trade and investment, tourism and security. At the opening of the 10th session of Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission convened in his office, President Buhari noted that some challenges identified during the last Bi-National Commission were yet to be completely addressed. He told ministers and government delegates of both countries that unity between them would serve as catalyst for economic, technological, social and cultural development and as a force for peace and security on the continent. In a related development, President Muhammadu Buhari has reaffirmed his belief in the Nigeria-South African Youth Dialogue Initiative to promote peace building and development that would enable both countries combat youth restiveness. The Nigerian leader stated this at a joint press conference with his South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa at the State House in Abuja. President Buhari described Ramaphosa's visit as successful. Despite the scare of the new COVID-19 Omicron variant, he observed that with a combined population of 262 million, out of which 95 million are youths, the dialogue would open up areas of collaboration in science and technology, energy, demands, cybersecurity, agriculture, technology, among others. On his part, the South African leader thanked the Nigerian government for showing solidarity with his country, calling for the lifting of the travel ban imposed on his nation and others over the Omicron COVID-19 variant. In another development, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control has confirmed 3 cases of the Omicron variant in the country. This was contained in a press release issued by the center and signed by its Director General, Dr. Ifedayo Adetife. Adetife said the discovery was made through case and genomic surveillance at the center's National Reference Laboratory. And while the federal government has reviewed travel protocol with an additional PCR test imposed on inbound travelers as part of measures to contain the new Omicron variant, the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 said passengers arriving in Nigeria will undergo a PCR test 48 hours before embarking on their trips, besides taking another test on day 2 after arrival and another one day 7. The committee noted that the passengers are also expected to self-isolate for 7 days. In a related development, the federal government today commenced the enforcement of mandatory vaccination against COVID-19 at the Federal Secretariat. Security men reportedly manned the main entrance to the Secretariat, where they demanded either a vaccination card or evidence of negative PCR test before allowing the civil servants to enter the Secretariat. Some of the unvaccinated civil servants, however, questioned the federal government's decision, saying COVID-19 vaccination should be made a matter of choice. In the meantime, the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria is asking the federal government to extend the deadline for compulsory vaccination of civil servants till March next year. The General Secretary of the Association, Alade Lawal, who stated this in an interview with newsmen, said the extension was necessary to enable all civil servants take the jab and avoid a stampede at the vaccination centers. However, the technical lead of the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed, had told reporters that the deadline would not be extended. On economy, the National Economic Council has endorsed the Finance Bill 2022, which is expected to be passed along with the 2022 Appropriation Bill. The council meeting, which was presided over by Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, comprises governors, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and other officials. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laolo Akonde, said highlights of the bill were presented to the Council by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. The minister said some of the proposed legislative changes covered domestic revenue mobilization, closing tax loopholes, public financial management, tax administration reforms, as well as international taxation issues. So the Green Chambers now, where the House of Representatives has asked the federal government to extend the Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge railway line to the Sanusi railway station near Ibora in the Iparapa axis of Oyo State and make it functional. The resolution followed the adoption of a motion brought by Ajibola Moraina, calling attention to the economic importance of such an extension to the people of the area. Moraina noted that in 2006, the federal government awarded an $8.3 billion contract to China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation to construct a standard set due to the inability to secure funding for the whole project. The federal government decided to build the standard gauge line in segments and rehabilitate the narrow gauge line in the meantime. He, however, expressed worries that the federal government failed to rehabilitate the old railway lines or extend those of the new standard gauge to some key existing railway stations. Still on legislative matters, House of Representative members have blocked a bill seeking to allow Nigerians sue government for alleged failure. The bill was blocked from being passed for a second reading after its sponsor Sergio Ogun led deliberations on it during plenary. The bill sought to alter Section 6 of the Constitution to allow the judiciary entertain lawsuits from Nigerians hoping to take the government to task for allegedly failing to provide basic necessities for citizens. Mohammed Monguno, in his contribution, said he supported the spirit of the bill but was against enforcing it. The lawmaker cautioned that passing the bill would create chaos, as the government could not be expected to provide for all citizens always. A majority of lawmakers voted against passing the bill for a second reading when it was put to a voice vote by Deputy Speaker Idris Wase. In commemoration of the 2021 World AIDS Day, a public health consultant, Thomas Ofem, has called on the National Assembly to urgently make a law to protect the rights of all Nigerians to the health care they need and ensure its enforcement. Ofem also urged the National Assembly, as a matter of urgency, to repeal laws that make it difficult for sex workers, people who inject drugs and other sexual minorities to access available HIV and AIDS treatment and care services. In a statement, Ofem said to end AIDS in Nigeria, the people should unite across all population segments. Away from that, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasan, has decried the increasing cost of food and cooking gas in the country. In a statement signed by its president, Festus Osifo, and General Secretary Lumumba Okubawa, the union alleged that the nation was degenerating into a land plagued with hunger. It observed that the people's purchasing power had worsened as the prices of food in the market continued to rise in the last 3 years. In politics, a federal high court in Abuja has dismissed a suit that sought to disqualify the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Charles Soludo, and his deputy Onyeka Ibezim in the last governorship election in Anambra State. The plaintiffs Adindo Valentine and Egbudike Chukwebuka are contending, among other things, that Soludo and Ibezim provided false information in the affidavit they submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission and should be declared as unqualified to stand for election. In his judgment, Justice Taiwo held that the suit was frivolous as the plaintiffs failed to show how they were misled by the information supplied by Soludo and Ibezim. In another development, terminal operators and other stakeholders have blamed the Nigeria Customs Service for delaying the installation and deployment of NUGTEC mobile scanners delivered to the service at the nation's seaports for use. At a town hall meeting organized by the League of Maritime Editors in Lagos, Chairman of the Seaport Terminal Operators Association of Nigeria, Vicky Hastrep, attributed more than 80% of the costs incurred by importers and agents of the seaports to what she called customs inefficiency. Hastrep observed that the continuous utilization of the manual examination of cargoes and clearance had become a sore point in Nigeria's customs administration. On revenue generation, the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, has charged stakeholders to deliberate on strategies to shore up the internally generated revenue by leveraging on changing technologies to stimulate the economy and good governance in the country. The minister made the call during a two-day stakeholders zonal conference on internally generated revenue in Abuja. Dingyadi, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary Temitope Fashedemi, said fiscal resources were urgently needed to stimulate the economy and provide the necessary dividends of good governance. He said leveraging on the fast pace of changing technology would help in recording accounts and reporting revenue to block leakages, losses, and wastages. Still to come in the news, Canada adds Nigeria to travel ban list for Omicron variant fears. Do stay with us.